What's up guys, Card Protagonist here, and today I'll be doing a deck profile on the Ancient World D-Share deck from the brand new set Gargantua Awakening. And I'm really loving the D-Share deck because it's so flexible and it doesn't clog so badly like the previous Ancient World decks. So what's different from D-Share and previous Ancient World? Previous Ancient World focuses on size 3 only, so in times where you don't draw a size 3, you're totally screwed. But whereas D-Share isn't 100% focused on the size 3s, so you will be able to do tons of good plays with your size 1s. So today I'll be doing a deck profile on the D-Share deck and explaining how some card works and how you should build your deck. So without further ado, let's get started. For the party we use here is King Akito. You could use a normal Akito, but I do have an SP version of King Akito and it looks sick, so I'm actually losing him. And because he's also somehow the main winning image of the deck, so you definitely want to have at least Akito or King Akito as a buddy. King Akito is an amazing monster because of his incredible stats of 727, really tanky, especially with some support you have in the soul. You gain extra defense of 10k. It's pretty much an undestructible beast. And he also has the Spiral D-Share, which means you'll be getting all the effects, really powerful effects from the soul, and you'll be able to do some insane plays with this deck. And also King Akito is the most epic among the 3 main characters because it is a size 3 and it looks so cool. So let's check out the main deck. So the boss monster of the deck is 4 copies of King Akito. He's basically very important because he is able to get all abilities of all the share monsters in its soul. He does need to get a bit of setup running, but once you get his engine running, he's an unstoppable beast. Core cost, put a total of up to 6 Link Dragon Order monsters from the field or drop zone into the soul and pay 2 gauge. He has Spiral D-Share ability. This card gains all the D-Share of all D-Shares in his soul. So it gains ability of all units that enter his soul from the field or drop zone. Very powerful. He has Soul Guard, so definitely ain't going down too fast. King Akito is definitely one of the strongest monsters in the game due to the fact that he can gain so many abilities. And he also has a D-Share ability. This card soul cannot be dropped by opponent card effects. Which is interesting to note is, if you do have another size 0 on the field, the size 0 can also D-Share with King Akito because King Akito also has a D-Share. So yeah, do take note that you'll still be able to gain the D-Share from your other monsters. Alright, so how do you play King Akito? You could do it first turn, or you could do it after the first turn. If you're going first, I highly recommend you not to go King Akito too soon, depending on the situation, unless you think that you will die. I won't recommend you go King Akito, because I would definitely want you to set up a bit before getting, so they can maximize getting 6 soul into King Akito. But if you are afraid, do not hesitate to call monsters down like these. Gain their pluses, charge draw, you know, and all that good stuff. Once you call those monsters, then call King Akito over. Just send them to the soul. You're not losing any advantage because basically those cards will be protection soul for King Akito. And of course, with that monster gains plus 3k defense, King Akito won't be destroyed easily with his 10k defense. So yeah, it is a very flexible card. It doesn't mean that you don't have King Akito means you're dead. You can also rush with the size 1's D-Share. This is what I really like about D-Share. D-Share isn't too reliant on the size 3 monsters. Even at size 1s on the field, it's still a very powerful swamp deck. So once you go second turn onwards, you will basically be spamming King Akito all the time because he is so powerful. Alright, so 4 copies of King Akito because it's the MVP of the deck and the boss monster. Turn 2 onwards, you definitely want to be spamming him. And there's a lot of ways to retrieve King Akito, so do not worry. Next, we play 4 copies of Thunder X Akito, his baby form. This is a fantastic card as well. Core cost, pay 2 gauge and put the top card of the deck into his soul. Penetrate and Soul Guard, so he won't die so easily. What makes this guy key is his ability to give a D-Share monsters or gain double attack. Usually what I do is I use cards to dump him to drop zone so that I can use King Akito, send it to soul, and yeah, King Akito can gain the double attack, and even the size 0s, if you play it, you'll gain double attack on the field. So it is a very powerful card. Because it gives you a double attack. You don't necessarily need to call it, but nonetheless, it's still a very good card to call because it's double attack, it has penetrate, so it can break through walls. Fantastic card overall, and definitely must play at 4. Now, one of my favorite cards is 4 copies of Quick Wit. This is very cute because it's kind of like a crocodile dragon. His ability is very powerful as well. You may only call this card if you D-Share on the field for share because we play a few D-Share deck. When this card enters the field, you can charge 1 gauge and draw a card. And it's not once per turn, so it's a fantastic card. And it is like a Guard Cat, but it's a size 0 and he has a super strong D-Share. D-Share, so all your cards on the field gains plus defense 3k. And while this guy's in the soul of King Akito, it becomes 10k. And if you stack multiple copies of it, it becomes like what, 16k? 16k defense. Man, King Akito won't be able to go down easily. And especially with some support cards which prevents King Akito from being destroyed by card effects, it's pretty much unbreakable. Soul current removed, so the opponent will have a very hard time taking down the giant beast. So definitely max out this because it is a powerful charge and drop and gives all your monsters plus 3k defense. Alright, next is 4 copies of Hara Hara. One of the most OP cards that people have been crying about where because its ability to gain 2 life, and once again you can stack its ability. So you have 2 Hara Hara on the field. When 1 Hara Hara attacks, it gains 4 life, And imagine this in King Akito if you can like manage to dump 2 of it. Each time King Akito attacks, it gains 4 life. So yep, you instantly gain 8 life. Basically this tech can gain so much life that you will never die. Because really important as well, because if they really manage to take down King Akito, you'll still be able to survive with the take life points. He's never a wrong choice to put in King Akito so, because gaining life is never a bad thing. You'll always gain life, gain more survivability, or you can also use that life to pay for costs such as Divine Dragon Divinity, which pays 2 life each time. So 4 copies of Hara. Next is 2 copies of Kinya Jisen. He is very important as well, because when this card enters the field, charge 1 gauge. And D-Share ability, this card can be destroyed by opponent card effects. Really good, because once he's in the soul of King Akito is basically indestructible anymore. And of course, it's pretty neat ability to give you a gauge before going to King Akito's soul is also very nice. If you play against a lot of those destruction decks, I will side mean more. But for now, 2 is a great balance. Next is 2 copies of Takasume. Takasume is just there for breaking stuff such as set spells or items. D-Share, when this card attacks, choose a card on opponent's field and you may pay on gauge if you destroy a card. It doesn't destroy monsters only, it destroys items, set spells, anything you need to destroy, this guy's a man. 1 gauge to destroy anything, D-Share, so even your other little Agitos attacking, you can like double attack, each time he attacks you can pay on gauge to destroy cards. So basically you can kind of bot wipe if you have enough gauge, and gauge is never a problem in Ancient World. Next is 1 copy of Head of Link Order, Akito. He's from the Trial deck. Still a fantastic card because it gives Penetrate to all monsters with D-Share on the field, and also give King Akito the option of getting Penetrate, because for now we do not have any monsters that give Penetrate to King Akito or any of the D-Share monsters. Next, 1 copy of Resolute Hirate. Hirate is also very important, especially if you're playing against bouncy decks such as Thunder Empire, because they do have a lot of cards to bounce. When this card attacks for this turn, another Link Dragon Order on the field gains is 1 critical. It could be an item as well, because it does state monsters. Second ability, really important, because D-Share, this card can be bounced back to hand or rested by opponent card effects. So good, because you definitely don't want your King Akito to be rested, especially if you're going for devastating play. So I'll definitely side in more of these against certain matchups, but for now, 1 copy is fine. And finally, the last one is Kaina. Kaina gives all your D-Share monsters 1 additional crit, so a King Akito will be 3 critical, really nice, especially with that double attack. So yeah, 1 copy of Heavy Striker, just in case you want to do your early game rush. Alright, let's go on to spells. Ancient World has incredible spells from this set. First up, we get 4 copies of Link Dragon Order's Hunt. Cards cost 1 gauge. You may pay 1 life and draw cards for each D-Share monster on your field. You usually have 3 D-Shares. You're drawing 3 cards and gaining 3 life at a cost of 1 gauge. That is incredible. It is one of the best draw powers in the game just because of the sheer raw draw power you can get for 1 single card. So 4 copies is a must because it helps boost up your hand size, giving you all those D-Share monsters you need to complete your combo. So 4 copies. Next, 4 copies of Link Dragon Order's Oath. Another very interesting card. Cards cost 2 gauge, slightly more expensive, but it's really powerful effects. Choose and use one of the following effects. For instance, all cards with D-Share on a field gains plus 10k power and 1 critical. Now this is pretty interesting because sometimes I believe against certain decks, especially if you're playing a size 1 rush deck, you do want to have the extra power because you won't be able to run through monsters such as a Tora or maybe even a Mirror Match. So gaining a 10k power and 1 critical can really help you push for game. Second ability is stand all cards with D-Share on the field. For 2 gauge, you stand every single D-Share, your items, your monsters, every single thing. So you'll be doing huge amount of damage. It's pretty damn good. And it's pretty flexible because you're not only stuck with 1 option, you have 2 options in case you really need to push for extra crit as well. Next is my favorite Link Order spell, 4 copies of Link Order Dragon Gathering. 2 abilities, pay 1 gauge, you either search for 1 Agito from a deck and add it to your hand, or the second ability, put 2 cards with a D-Share with different names from your drop zone into your hand. So good because early game you want to search out Agito, late game you can get those extra D-Share monsters which you send to the drop zone back to your hand. So a really powerful card because it increases the consistency of the deck, and consistency is key in Buddyfight. Next is 3 copies of the classic powerful draw spell. Pay 2 life to draw 2 cards, pretty awesome. So much synergy to the deck, because paying life is no longer a problem in Ancient World, thanks to Link Dragon Order's ability to gain a lot of life. So basically, pay 2 life to draw 2 cards. Very powerful card. Next is a very interesting tech. Basically, it doesn't seem like a Link Dragon Order card, but it is one of the most important cards in Link Dragon Order. It is Sturdy Dragon Strike. Drop up to 2 Ancient World monsters from your deck into a drop zone and shuffle your deck, then you charge 1 gauge. Alright, the reason why this card is very powerful is because it basically allows you to set up your drop zone. Sometimes you want to keep Akito in the drop zone, use a spell, you can put 2 of them in the drop zone, or you could put Hara, or whichever D-Share monsters you need in your drop zone. You definitely want to start out your game with one of these cards because it instantly sets up your drop zone and you're ready to instantly hop into King Akito. I will play 4, definitely after testing I might go to 4, and it basically sets up your King Akito instantly, even in turn 1. So 3 copies of 4. 3 copies of Link Dragon Order's Links. Pretty interesting card. because it helps you speed up your drop zone. Cards cost real 2 cards, so put the top 2 cards of the deck into your drop zone. So yeah, hopefully you can strike into Link Dragon Order monsters, so you can put it into King Akito. So counter ability, put the top 3 cards of the deck into Gauge and gain 1 life. Kinda like a Hyper Energy, pretty sweet. Second ability, destroy a monster on the field. Really good card, especially sometimes you need the extra control. The opponent attacking with a really strange monster, you can use this card to instantly counter and destroy that monster. Most importantly, its ability to Mewtwo is actually what I really like about this card. Now let's go to weapons. We play 4 copies of Wild X. So Wild X is surprisingly a very nice card because he is a full art common card. These are quite rare in Buddyfight. This card can attack even a Link Dragon Order into center, so King Akito can always be protecting you and you can fight alongside it. Abilities of all Link Order monsters on your field cannot be nullified with component card effect. Very important, because once King Akito ability is nullified, you are in huge trouble. D-Share as well, so during your turn this card gains 3k power. So all your D-Share including King itself is going to gain 3k power, making King 10k. Really good. Even when fighting against Chaos, you kinda need the 10k power, so this item is your key to victory. So 4 copies. And finally, we have 2 copies of the Impact from the secret pack. You may only cast this card if a monster with D-Share on the field and your opponent is 4 life or less. So it's kind of like a old Gargantua Punisher. If you have a monster with Spiral D-Share on the field, you may cast this card without paying its cost. Amazing! So you basically is kind of like, okay, I have King Akito there, I'm just going to drop this and you're dead. So yeah, you don't even need to pay the 2 gauge cost, and you can deal 4 to your opponents. Really powerful card, especially King Akito, which will mostly be on the field because of how tanky it is. You know, 2 copies is fine for me. If you want to play more, go for it. So 2 copies. So once again, I hope you guys enjoy my deck profile on the Ancient World Link Dragon Order deck from the brand new set Gargantua Awakening. If you guys would like to see more awesome Buddyfight deck profiles, be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to this channel. And also, if you're looking for Buddyfight decks and singles, be sure to check out my online card shop, www.buddy-mart.com. We have the latest cards from Gargantua Awakening and we mail worldwide. So do check us out and support me. So once again, thank you for watching, peace out and love you guys. Rawr!